to another session with the Paintology drawing app where I am going to show you blending the easy way, not using digital tools. So if you don't know what the Paintology, if you're new to Paintology, you'd know that it actually has many, teaches you many techniques of art. The focus on most digital drawing apps are around tools and developing something based off of tools. And I want to show you something different, which are techniques. And techniques is what makes drawings like this. I'll show you. This one I did yesterday. So techniques to draw on the phone using simple techniques of drawing with the with using blending. You can see I blended the sky and simple line brush. That was it, one line brush, and then the rest was done just by applying some techniques, simple techniques that I'm going to teach you. Yeah. So what is the way I draw? So basically the way I draw is usually on this phone. So what I'm showing you is on this phone here using my finger, but in this case I'm using a stylus. A cheap stylus of any kind will do, no big deal. And here is where, if you go to paintology.com, right, and go down to the somewhere where it says live streams, Google Classroom, Udemy. These are actually links to those resources, but the YouTube live stream links at the top will show you the present live stream before I actually participate in it. So I want you to be ready for it, and usually it comes with a reference image that I use for the drawing to show the techniques. And these techniques are block coloring and shading, which is what I'm going to focus on. So I just completed the Paintology one, the live stream. It's about an hour, so showing you the blending of that early drawing I had on my screen. And then this one is produced, and this, if we click on the image link, it will be these clouds. So it looks quite daunting and quite challenging, but it's all based around drawing. It's all based around techniques, and it's nothing challenging in art if you learn techniques. So that's what we have. So down the middle of the, somewhere around the third of the way down, paintology.com homepage, you'll find the link. So you can get ready for it, for the drawing, and then I will start on the drawing and show you. So we already have this traced image. See here. So we start off with by first, well, I'm going to first show you the simple tools. So everyone, a lot of the beginners under the tendency to dive into tools to do everything for them, but if you really want to learn art the way I'm doing it, you really need to learn techniques. And I come from a traditional background in art, and I just developed these techniques through time, through curiosity and learning, and applied it to the digital. So I'm a little bit surprised that nobody else draws digitally like I do. But if you do find people, please let them know. Love to hear from them on the techniques they've developed and how they use it. Because the majority of the drawing you see is around tools, and the drawing are really flat, not three-dimensional like the way I try and do, because that's what art should be. It's like, and that drawing comes from appreciating tones, and block coloring is a method developed in Paintology that enhances your skills in appreciating tones. It tunes your mind as you keep doing it in tone development. So we're gonna do this in 3 parts, just like in the first channel, the Paintology channel. And the first part I'm gonna do is focus on block coloring, and if we get around to it, we'll do the rudimentary blending of the clouds. So first, you need to understand how this operates. Very simple. Trace bar. It's a traced image. You can move from your canvas to the reference image, and if you have the cursor in the top half here, you will be basically picking. Let's clear the on the previous drawing. You'll be look at the color on the bottom right. Shift it to the blue, and then look at the color. Shift it to grayish white. And look to the ground, looks a darker green. So this is the color picker. If you go here, this is practically your canvas. So if we were to pick color picker, what happens? Just white, isn't it? Naturally it's going to be white, isn't it? So we're going to keep to the line brush, okay, just for now. So for this demonstration drawing, and then let's pick a color here, and then let's throw more colors here, and then let's see. You see your colors, your drawing is like with relative to your trace. It's much more powerful than the trace you find in traditional materials. So let's pick the color picker here. You think it might be green, but it's not. It's the blue, because you've got the cursor on the reference image. We go here, just below it. Let's see what color it picks up. Green. Let's see what it picks up. Blue. Yeah, see? So you have an idea of picking your own colors if you're at this side and picking. So normally a drawing happens is that you are mainly focused on the reference image to get down the foundational colors, tones to your drawing, and then eventually towards the end I tend to keeps to my drawing and work on that. This really develops your rapid drawing of making drawings like I showed you earlier. You know, I'll show you a few drawings actually. So this is one I did. Took me an hour to do that using the methods I'm going to explain. This one I'll show you a few more. So I do practically drawing every day. This one again I want to show the blending. This one, you can see the blending I did in the miniature clouds. And how is that possible? Well, you got the zoom. Look at that. You can zoom in, right? And that 530% means this 6-inch phone of yours is turned into a 30-inch canvas. That's the reason why I can make drawings at this high level. Yeah, and then let's pick another one. So another one. So I've been doing these settings of, and then I even did portraits. This was a technique. Some of you might be familiar with this famous actress, Katrina Kaif. So again, this is on a live stream as well. You can check it out and find that. Okay, so let's get back to our drawing. So we're going to go here, pick that cloud, and then so we first of all need to check the brush size. We've decided we're going to just use the line brush for now, and then we're going to select a brush size. So this brush size would be, the initial brush size, in my opinion, would be dependent on the, look, it's way too big, on the cloud lining. I would take it, like, just take it down, and then see if that gives you reasonable, remember, the bigger the brush size you have, the quicker you're going to lay down these colors. So I think that's good. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do this in with 7%, which is going to be quite, it's a bit smaller than usual, but because the clouds are, I'm going to use the color picker and then just simply go over it just see these tones. Color picker, see the tones that are coming up here, and these, follow the tones. Right, you can see these I could have used a bigger brush, but I just want to show it in practice. Right, see these white, this will be whiter here, and then I color picker again. See how it changed, the variation in the tones. This is where your brain will really become so fine-tuned. So again, this drawing is going to be done in 3 parts, so that you could have the opportunity to draw along with me as I've shown you. So all you need to do is download the Paintology app from the Google Play Store on your Android. So you've got to be an Android user. I don't have it on Apple yet. So look how quickly you could go through this. And I'm going to explain another fundamental part of drawing. It's called the drawing process. And you can read more in the paintology.com website on the blog section, right? So I'm just laying down these tonal variations. You may think that there's one tone going on here. You'd be totally wrong, because I'm going to show you how many colors I picked up by using the color picker just in that region. And you might get shocked, you know. So the reason I'm picking such a smaller brush than usual is because the cloud formation is very detailed. And look, I'm following the tonal changes, you see. That gives me an idea with what I need to bring. So no drawing experience required as such. You can do this. If you can write, you can surely do this, right? So what have we got here? Look, got that part done, and then look at the tones we picked. You'd think that these are all simple same tones. You'd be wrong. I can guarantee you. Take this and import it into Photoshop, and you will see that it has so many different hex to it. Of course, it's the same bluish tone, right? So now we're gonna go closer. Use your fingers. Just get these tones that are changing. I'm not capturing that white tone. Notice there's a there is no white tone, so don't get confused. Just keep doing this. That was just the way this is. There's no white. There is a white. Can you see a white border around here? I'll show you what I mean. Can you see there's a white haze around that? That's what happens as you get really focused on tones. And I wouldn't worry about that yet. Just lay down. See, I was on the wrong side of the thing. So I picked the white. So pick the white of my canvas. So you need to make sure it's there. And just go along rapidly. You're not interested in providing any detail whatsoever. The mistake many beginners make, they think they have to do it in one go. And it's really it's all about building up layers. And I'm not talking about layers in the digital, layers in the fundamental art way of drawing. And you'll see many painters, they start off by putting a coarse tone down, and then look at that white, it's lovely, isn't it? And then they keep working their way down until they get to a level where they go to a smaller brush. This is exactly the same techniques. So notice I'm not diving into any tools yet, and I don't intend to. In fact, the blending I'm going to show you is very, very easy. It's a lot easier than you actually think. So I'm bringing these colors. So there's layers of luscious blue and this luscious fluffy clouds. And then I know what my daughter would say when she does these clouds. You need to move to the shade brush. And she may be right in some respect, but I'm keeping it simple, and I'm going to show you the essence of blending using this digital Paintology. So I'm just layering down it very rapidly. Yeah. Look at that. Go rapidly. Don't worry about, because you know the other thing is that people make the mistake is they need to go slowly because they think that it needs to be so precisely. You're using a larger brush. You're nowhere near the drawing process, the last stages of the drawing process where you're going to bring out realism. You're just laying down one at a time until the next step. Look, I'm continuing to pick the color tones, color picker. Why? Because it allows me to pick the tones that are local in that area, that smaller region. Yeah? There. It's so powerful. You have no idea how powerful the digital medium is unless you give it a try. Okay, so what have we got here? Yeah, we laid down that. Now, you'll see it's very similar to painting on a canvas, isn't it? Yeah, that's exactly the way. Look, even this might be a little too thick, but we just go ahead because we're just laying down the first pass. We're not interested in providing the details yet. Okay, and then this. Look at that. You'd think it's white, but it's not. That's where you can, because of the, don't know, the blue gives the impression that they're, fluffy clouds of white, but it's actually a lot different than one thinks. And then that's where your tonal understanding becomes really acute, and then you can make photorealistic drawings relatively easily, which is what I do, and I don't have to use the trace method. I can do it by the eye because I've trained my eye, and you may see some of those drawings if you go. You'll see some of them actually if you visit the channel, both produce, and then you'll see how I make free drawing. But the whole idea is to show you techniques, not, digital tools are not going to make you an artist. It's nice to have, but they're going to make you a great artist. No. Most beginners like to think they need to have all this arsenal of tools to be able to. That's only because they become dependent on it. They won't be able to blend any other way, which I'm going to show you. So here, you see that deep blue? Do you see how that blue here changes to another tone of blue? See that? And then another change of blue. Look at that. That's what your drawing is all about, to get those. And then you'll see another light blue, and then another, and then another dark. Look at that tone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just in that region. That's what tones are, if you've ever wondered how to replicate tones. Alright. So quickly scribble, scribble, scribble. I was surprised with how much I could achieve with my fingers alone. And then I have some muscle problems, so I'm using this simple thin stylus here just to relieve some of that tension. As you can see, I push drawings a lot, so it's understandable that I'm going to have these kind of muscle cramps. So I think I post like through one live stream a day, but now I'm going to do two, and then two shorts for each of the channel. So I have to create those videos, and spend time drawing and creating those videos. It shows how much one person can do. You'd be surprised. It's a little bit of effort, how much you can achieve if you put your mind to it and if you believe in it. Same thing for drawing. If you believe in your drawing, why not? You could be able to surprise yourself. I surprise myself when I'm drawing every time. Honestly, I'm just like, every drawing is different, and I learn, take away a few things. Every drawing. See, color picker, essential, you keep selecting the color picker. So this was a good idea for me to select 7% because of the details that was in the original. So here, just laying down these colors. Now you can't tell me that you need drawing skills to do this, do you? You can't tell me you need that. Come on. You can see for yourself what I'm doing is very easy. It's like paint by numbers, but more flexible because you're using the color picker. So you can do paint by numbers. Remember, once you install the app, you can go to many of these categories for drawing, and it shows you 600 free tutorials to practice with, and which develops your tones, paint by numbers even, very easy to do. So just following the tonal variation, what I'm seeing in the and then just using it round and round and just going on. I mean, it's so much fun, isn't it? As you do this, you get lost in the moment, and most people are glued to the social media, and then it'd be so nice to just take your mind off, take some time off and do this. It's how much benefit one gets from doing this, tell you. I mean, I can't explain for you what the benefits you're going to get, but I trust it's the reason why many people want to draw, probably not because they see these highly skilled artists and they're amazed by it, but more because they want to get into it because they see how they get lost in the moment, and they want to be in that same position. And it's true. It's as I'm talking, which I don't normally talk, you can tell by my low frequency that I'm somehow in a different zone, isn't it? Rapidly. As you do this, it improves two things: your drawing strokes, your appreciation of tones, and believe me, it will help you in your other art mediums if you're so inclined. Yeah. Do you want to see what I have here for now? Let's have a look at it. There, look at that. so quick, so we're going to go through that very quickly, and which will be our first. And I would like to ask a favor that once you've done it, and if you're following along to this, to actually post it in the community section of Paintology, and I'll show you at the end how to post your drawing. I'll go through it quickly. Look at that, so rapid. And the reason why you want to post it is that I'm going to look at it and I can give you some advice and tips on what you need to do to improve, or if you had some questions related to it. And of course, this will be going on the YouTube streaming, so you're free to comment there as well. So don't be afraid. If you're following along to this, which I hope you are, then this is the way you're going to learn, isn't it? To get feedback from the person who's showing you this, isn't it? And then perhaps you have a new way of doing it, and you can show it to me. This is not by the only means of drawing in digitally. This is one of many I sort of came across as I'm still drawing, and that's like techniques that artists show. There's the usual practice techniques of drilling exercises, which many do, shading. But this, in my opinion, is much more fun because indirectly it's teaching you the tones. It's really tuning your brain to appreciate what tones are, and then you'll get a much better idea of why your drawings are flat, because you're not applying these deep tones. Look, see that deep tone there? Look, compared to what we were doing. I went in a line around here because that's the form and shape that this color took. It was like a line. And I'll show you in the original. And so here, just pick this. So here. So you don't need expensive pencils or brushes. You can practice here to your heart's content, and you don't have to use my image. Use the image that you're very fond of and you want to draw. It's funny, whenever I ask my daughter for something I want to draw, she immediately goes for like a purple, something that's purple in it, landscape. So you can imagine her favorite color is purple. See that? See, that tone is different to the other tone. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably stop here, or to see the image. And then the reason I want to stop here is because I want to do two things. This is where you can get creative. I want to do a couple of things. I find that, let's see what we have. Here's the cloud. I find that this land has been too, this picture I took, let my daughter take home because I saw a formation of clouds and asked her to take a picture from the car while she was seated. And then I look at the land is low down. So I'm thinking I'm going to actually bring the land up here. So I'm going to carry on because remember it's not a flat land. So I'm going to actually carry on a little bit. I'm not going to stop directly. Of course I'm not going to add that cable line, electric line there. That'd be silly, isn't it? Although, so just bringing these, look, you can see the formation of the clouds is like different when it's low down to the ground compared to the fluffy expanded clouds at the top. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to try and what I'm going to do is, I think that's fine. So I'm going to keep thinking anyway. So let's just put that down. So I'm going to bring this grass, right? I'm going to bring it up here, right here. Oops, the grass here. Mountain range almost, so I can do that. Right, let's keep some of that colours, and then let's pick that. Hey, what? Wait, what happened? Good. So we got this here. Now you can see. So now you can see how lovely that is, isn't it? So that's what we have here, and I think we can sort of lift it up that land area so it's not like so low down it doesn't have any interest or impact. Right, so see this drawing, our first initial block coloring and then the original. So we're gonna finish here as our first block coloring. I'm not going to show you the shading because I need to go into a bit more detail. So we'll do that in part 2. So let's save that. Part 1 clouds. Okay, and then here's something I'm going to show you is, so if you followed along to this and then you want some feedback and comment, you're of course free to comment and on the actual YouTube stream once I've finished this, but you're also free to post on the community section. So the way you post is simple. While you're at the drawing, go to post, and then it'll bring up this page and type in, and then I'm going to type in part 1 of clouds using block coloring. I'm going to copy that. Copy and paste. And then I'm going to add clouds and put my name clouds. And then block coloring. Okay, and then just post, simply post, publish. There it is. So if you haven't joined you will just go to being able to use the Google link or the Facebook link to join on this. So so it's published. So in 1 second, I'm just gonna take a picture of this. So I need to fix it. This is part of my next other job I have to do. So I'm continuously improving the app. So we can go back, okay, and then we've saved this. Save this, yeah, okay, and then I'll show you what I mean. So community, go to the community, there it is, I posted it, and then I posted the one on the other channel, so you're free to look at this in more detail, and then post yours so I can provide feedback. And of course there's the tutorials where you can go about paint by numbers and many other tutorials. Let's take this one. It has, some of it's got videos that you can watch while you follow along to it. So you pick a color, one, yeah, you see, 6. Very easy. It helps you to improve your drawing strokes. So there you have it. Lots of other pencil drawing. It takes digital drawing into a new techniques. It's all done through techniques. You can do pencil drawings that look fairly realistic. Like for example, look at these face I did. This is a video covering lips. See the lips looks almost like a pencil drawing, doesn't it? And these shading exercises you can do, alright? So there you have it, and I hope you enjoyed this. I will bring part 2 tomorrow for you to, and then hopefully you've had time to do this drawing. If you have any question, please comment and please subscribe. Thank you, until again tomorrow. Bye bye.